Hey there everyone, Mazarok here, and today is the Paladin 9.2 testing for the 4-piece and the double legendary. This should be fairly quick. Paladin's pretty straightforward, and some of the stuff like BDK isn't quite as testable as we would like it to be versus dummies, and is going to be a lot more prevalent in Mythic Plus or Raid versus, again, just dummies. So, let's go over the 2 and the 4-piece for the Paladin. Alright, while I was doing the editing for this video, Blizzard obviously put out a post changing how the 4-piece works for Paladin. It is a minor change, so most of what I said still applies, but what we're going to do, we're going to go through it here. And they also did change it for the Death Knight because they worked similarly. So what the 4-piece does now, as I go over here to Protection Paladin, when you take damage, you have a chance equal to 100% of your block chance to cast Judgment at your attacker. It was previously 33%. So what this means now, if I'm understanding it correctly, is if you have a 60% block chance on your character, you have every time you get hit, you have a 60% chance to throw out a Judgment at your attacker. Where this is going to be good in Mythic Plus. Mythic Plus already was strong at 33% just due to how many incoming attacks you have when you're pulling a large number of mobs. Single target, this is going to be much better. So for raiding and things like that, super strong. All around good buff, and the blood piece is the same thing with the 100% of your parry chance to lash out, heart striking your attacker. Very, very good, and the dancing rune weapon now summons two rune weapons. So that is the change there. So as we go forward with the video, please note that's the changes there. And let's get on with it. 2-piece. Casting Shield of the Righteous increases your block chance by 4% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. This is a very strong ability, especially when you pair it with the Holy Light talent. Now, on testing, I was getting my block up to 61% with the Holy Light. And that means you have a 61% chance to block spells and things like that. Really, really powerful, but it also goes very well with the 4-piece. Blocking attack has a 33% chance to cast Judgment at your attacker. Now, there was a blue post about this saying that the 33% chance is on a 1-second internal cooldown. So it's not like you're just going to go into Mythic Plus, pull 20 mobs, and just put out 20 Judgments a second. That's not exactly how it's going to work. But the Judgment is also all of it. So not just the damage component. And this is what we kind of need to keep into play here. So Judgment causes the target dealing X amount of damage and causing them to take 25% increased damage from your next Holy Power ability. So this is something that you really want to spread around. It's a debuff that you want to use, especially because I like to use the Legendary Mythic Plus, where Avenger's Shield increases the damage of your next Shield of the Righteous by 30% for each target hit by Avenger's Shield, stacking up to 5 times. So you hit one Avenger's Shield, you hit all 5 mobs in a pack, boom! 150% Shield of the Righteous. Whatever has Judgment on it gains another 25%. So the more Judgments that you can get out there, the better. This is going to be a really, really fun tier set, I think, and it's going to work really, really well in both Mythic Plus. A little bit less so in Raid, but Paladin doesn't need much help in Raid. Like a Venthyr Paladin is very powerful in Raid with good damage. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, we of course get the double legendary. So here you can see we've obviously started with Kyrian. After casting Divine Toll, you instantly cast Avenger's Shield every 5 seconds. This effect lasts for 15 seconds. So you get 3 more Avenger's Shields just every 5 seconds as the pack goes on and keeps pulling. Lots and lots of fun, which also increases the damage done by Shield of the Righteous, which gives you more, the more Judgments you have out. It works really, really, really nice together. So if we test this on a couple of dummies, I'm just going to open here and kind of, go around and have some fun. Get those Judgments around. Now, here is not quite the dummies that we want, right? Because it's not the ones that push back. Although this is a very strong ability. Good damage. Look at that. Nice 14, 15k. I have definitely seen myself get a lot more of the Divine Toll procs and keep going around. But it's just nice to constantly get that going out. And swapping targets, getting the Judgments on things. Honestly, you've played Kyrian Paladin in Mythic Plus before. If you've played any Paladin at all, it's a lot of fun. Divine Toll is very, very strong. This is just a wonderful complement to an already really, really good set. Now, one of the things that you can do with this here is after casting Divine Toll, you instantly cast a Venthyr Shield every 5 seconds, is having an internal cooldown, having some sort of cooldown. You know, you can count it out, you can have a weak aura for when it's going to go off, because you can tab target and hit a target that you want to kick. So if you thought you were kicking a lot of things before as a paladin, with a little bit of smart play, you're going to start kicking things even more with this double legendary. All around fantastic option. Kyrian is going to be an absolute blast to play in Mythic Plus, as it has been all tier, and is just going to continue doing so. Up next, we're going to go to the Land of the Fairies and go check out the very underplayed Night Fae Paladin. Now, for those of you that don't know Night Fae Paladin very well, because it doesn't get played almost at all ever, the Night Fae Covenant ability gives you a blessing, one for each season. The one that is the best is the Blessing of Summer, so you can bless an ally, including yourself, for 45 seconds. Now, this is because I have conduits and stuff boosting this, causing their attacks to have a 40% chance to deal an additional 30% damage as holy. Blessing is very fun. Blessing of Summer is very fun. Then there's Blessing of Autumn. There's Blessing of Winter, which applies a slow and deals like a Thorns type damage. Blessing of Spring increases healing done and healing received. Honestly, I don't remember what Blessing of Autumn does, but we'll find that out in a second. I can't quite remember. I am running a quick Kyrian build here with the same Mythic Plus talents that I was running before. The big thing here is to check out this nice big crit number, right? So here, going to pop that and just have fun. Oh, I forgot to pop. Forgot to pop my blessing. So this is on 3 targets, because we don't have the 5. So you got to remember, I'm missing 2 targets to really get the full benefit. And they're also kind of like spread out weirdly for a swarm. That's kind of how it goes. So it is what it is. Let's just say that. There's a very good chance you're not going to be playing a Night Fae Paladin in any sort of real capacity. It's fun. I mean, the blessings is fun, although I did not get the Kyrian crit buff, so that I find really, really weird. Let's just hit this real quick. See, okay, so that's my 40. So yeah, all right, there we go. I did get it. Blessing of Autumn here. So what happens? We have this buff. Your cooldowns recover 30% faster. That's what it is. So that's actually a really, really good cooldown. I've leveled this up to... I've leveled up this Covenant up to 80. Honestly, I actually really enjoy the Covenant. It's fun in Mythic Plus. The ability is fun out in the open world. Torghast, not Mythic Plus, sorry. But it is what it is. And the Covenant Legendary, what it does is it grants you Equinox. So it increases... So what happens is whenever you use a blessing, the first 10 seconds are increased by 100%, giving you kind of a big Equinox burst. It's fun to play with, but let's face it, it's very unlikely you're going to be playing a Night Fae Paladin in Mythic Plus or Raid soon. I think this could be really, really fun in PvP, giving blessings to your allies and things like that. And remember, you can always, instead of keeping it for yourself, you could buff up one of your, like, you know, let's say you've got a Boomy that's ramping up and going off. You can give them the Blessing of Summer and just absolutely destroy, giving them huge, huge holy damage on top of. There's a lot of different things that you can go with. But, again, the Night Fae Covenant, unless Blessing of Summer occurs more often, or there's a way to reset it or something along that line, I think it's going to still remain pretty underutilized as a whole. Up next, we're going to go see what the Necrolords are up to and what Vanquisher's Hammer can do for Protection Paladin. Vanquisher's Hammer for the Necrolord Paladin throws a hammer at your target, dealing 10,000 shadow damage and empowering your next Sword of Glory to automatically trigger a Shield of the Righteous with 25% increase effectiveness. Now, Shield of the Righteousness is your kind of active mitigation, if you don't already know this. And from my testing here, it ends up being about a 31,000 armor. 3,100 armor, sorry. And the legendary, what that does is it gains you an additional stack of Vanquisher's Hammer, so you get 2 on a 30-second cooldown, and an additional cast of Word of Glory will automatically trigger Shield of the Righteous. This is a little bit weird to play around, but in single target, it's actually pretty strong. Because what you can do, so here I just hit Shield of the Righteous by, you know, force of habit, but if I would have hit Word of Glory, I would have automatically gotten that Shield of the Righteous. Now, I don't have my Shield of the Righteous weak auras right here, so I don't see it. But as you see it there, so sometimes you're gonna want to keep track and use both, so in that way you're just pumping out way more Shield of the Righteous. And again, like I said, you'd think this is actually better in AoE, but it doesn't play out that well. Vanquisher's Hammer does deal okay damage. This is going to be better for better active mitigation throughout a fight that's more stable and sustainable. But it's going to be mostly single target raiding, which you're probably just going to play Venthyr anyway, because Ashen Hallow is as strong as it is. So why would you really play anything else? This, I hear, is very, very strong in PvP, by the way, Vanquisher's Hammer. But it does change the way that you play the game, which is I find to be very, very interesting. Even at that, these 2 mobs are not even close enough where my shield does anything. Because where here you absolutely want to hit shield, I would probably be in a situation where I would want to heal, but I'm not that low health, so I would have just hit shield anyway, but you want to make sure that you hit Word of Glory instead, and then you get both at the same time, and you have to keep track of your holy power and all that fun stuff, and then see you get both there. This build can be very, very fun to play with, and in the right skilled hands, you could probably be very successful with it, but it really changes the way Paladin plays. The shield is nice, no word of a lie there, prevent a lot of damage. Again, Necrolord is still going to be a very underrepresented covenant for both Raiding and Mythic Plus, I think. But now let's go over to Venthyr, which I think everybody knows exactly how Venthyr is going to end up panning out for for Paladin and Raiding. But we're going to go through and cover it anyway, because it's very exciting. Venthyr Protection Paladin. If you've raided at all in 9.1, 9.0, you have definitely seen the power of Ashen Hallow, which is now going to be increased by 50%, making it a 45-second Ashen Hallow, a huge cooldown that is just fantastic all around for raid. Helps with healers, helps with does massive amounts of damage. It is on a 4-minute cooldown, but you know there are probably going to be heads that are going to be doing these weird timings where if you cancel it here, you'll get it here, and so it's going to be best to do these weird things with these fights. But I mean, all around, very, very strong. We should be running the Bind of the Mad Paragon, but I have it on my waist. I'd have to remake it, so we're not going to really be worried about that right now. We're going to test this out versus this swarm of dummies, and honestly, I cannot say this enough. Every Covenant should have a 5 target swarm dummies. That's driving me up the wall, but whatever. I am running Theatar of the Mad Duke because I want that huge mastery proc to gain that extra block chance, which is just a lot of fun to use. We're going to proc wings and just go to town, have fun, and get that block chance up. It's going to be difficult to see Tubbins and Gubbins here, but you can see how much damage it does for a tank. I'm not even really trying. We get that block chance up. See here, I got Tubbins and Gubbins. 70% block chance right off the bat. Huge. And the more chance that you have to block, the more judgments that you're going to be able to get out, because obviously the way it works with the 2-piece that we discussed before. I mean, if you're going to be raiding at all in 9.2, get Venthyr up. Honestly, it's super strong. It's super powerful. It's very, very good. There's just nothing more to say about it. It lasts a long time, and sustaining 15k on 5 targets as a tank is absolutely great while doing a stupid amount of healing. Very safe, very good, all around. There's not much more to say about it. You knew it was good. I knew it was good. That's what it is. So I'm very excited for Prot Pally. It is a very high likely chance that I'm going to be maining Prot Pally in 9.2. It is very high on my list. I had a lot of fun with it in 9.1 in keys and rating, and there's a very strong chance that this is also going to continue being my main and going from there. Here we do see a lot of shamans testing out the chain harvest build and stuff that's going on, so that's going to be a lot of fun there. If you have any questions about tanking or would like to be part of a positive community of tanks, Discord links down below for the Mazarok community Discord. Check that out. Come ask questions. Come hang out. As well, there is my Twitch link down below. Come on by, check it out, ask questions there. I'm a pretty chatty Cathy, so let's just go there. Aside from that, I'm super excited for 9.2. All the plate tanks are looking insanely fun, and I am struggling to decide which one I am actually going to main and bring to, like, first-time raid progression. I'm gonna play them all! Just which one do I play first and really get geared and be the big boy, big girl, right? So, aside from that, thank you very much. I hope you guys are looking forward to 9.2 as much as I am, and have yourselves a good day.